Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to our ISKCON Guru official YouTube channel. Today I am going to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, 15th chapter, text 48 onwards. So 47 to 52, these 6 verses describe Krishna saves the cowherd boys from the effects of poisoned water. It is Kaliya Daman Lila. It will be described in the next chapter, detail. So there is a hint in this, in the end of this chapter, 15th chapter. So in this verse 48 it is said that Atha Gavascha Gopascha Nida Ghatapa Piditaha Dustam Jalam Papustasya Trishnartha Bisa Dusitam. That means at the time the cows and cowherd boys were feeling acute distress from the glaring summer sun. Afflicted by thirst, they drank the water of the Jamuna river, but it had been contaminated with poison. So in the purport, Ravi Thakur says, ignoring Krishna, who was walking slowly behind, the cows ran quickly toward the Jamuna to slake the intense thirst. The cowherd boys ran after them. So Srila Sanatana Goswami says, after going there, without considering the matter, they drank the water. Our author can indicate a new topic, a description of great suffering. The use of the word cha twice, that both the cows and the boys were of equal importance. They drank together at once. Otherwise, on seeing the first group drink the water and die, the second group would not drink. Why did they drink the water in Krishna's absence? They were thirsty because of the summer heat. The cause of the evil in the water was poison. So in verse 49 and 50, these two verses describe that Visambhas tad upasrusya daivopahata chetasaha nipitu vesava sarve sarilante kurudbha vikhyatan vai tatha bhutan Krishno Jogeshwareshwaraha ikhya amrita varshiniya swanathan sama jivayat. That means as soon as they touched the poisoned water, all the cows and boys lost their consciousness by the divine power of the Lord and fell lifeless at the water's edge. O hero of the Kurus, seeing them at such a condition, Lord Krishna, the master of all masters of mystic potency, felt compassion for these devotees who had no Lord other than him. Thus he immediately brought them back to life by showering his nectarian glands upon them. So in the purport, Ravi Thakur says, the word Daiva means belonging to Deva, the Lord. The cows and cowherd boys, whose intelligence was covered by Krishna's lila Shakti, appeared to lose their lives, Daiva upahata chetasa, though they are eternal. Krishna covered them with his yogamaya potency to perfect his pastimes. So, Sanatana Goswami in Vaishnava Tosani says that drinking the water in Krishna's absence by being afflicted by thirst because of the heat was the desire of Krishna in order to drive Kaliya from the lake. This became clear later. Thus, it is said here that their knowledge was overcome by the will of the Lord or the will of the Kaliya. The slightly sipped the water, upasrusya, or touched the edge of the water. This is a repetition of the statement of the last verse in order to strengthen the impression of the act, or it emphasizes the poison as the cause. All the cows and cowherds fell down at the edge of the water. All of this is the remarkable action of the Lord. The Lord is later called astonishing in his actions, Adhuta Karmana, cited in Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, 16th chapter, text 63. This will be elaborated at that time. uh, looking at all the people in that condition without delay, he brought them to life. The specific condition is not mentioned because it was inauspicious and unsuitable to repeat the description. So they could only be accomplished by the will of Krishna. He brought them back to healthy condition, all at the same time, removing completely the fatigue and sorrow because Krishna was the sole friend of the people of Braja and suffered their suffering. And this is not astonishing because he is the Lord of all masters of yoga. All of the yogis and powers arise from a small portion of this power of his powers. In this way, we will see from 47 to 52. And it is Krishna saves how it is described. So in verse 51 it is said, Te sampratita samritaya samuthaya jalantikat asan shuvismidha sarve vikhyamana parasparam. That means regaining their full consciousness, the cows and boys stood up out of the water and began to look at one another in great astonishment. In the purport, Srila Vishwanath Thakur says that returning to consciousness, the cowherd boys thought, we are dead. So how did we come back to life? What medicine or mantra was used to remove the poison? Thus, looking at one another with great surprise, they spoke with their eyes, Friends, do you know the secret? Then one Shakha answered with a glance, I know how we are saved. Then he spoke, Listen, I remember the name giving ceremony of Krishna and Balaram, wherein Gargacharya said, This child will very easily save you from all dangers. This is the secret. Then with the complete absorption, all the cowherd boys remembered Krishna, their most lovable object. By this, they all became astonished. So, in the next verse, that is verse 52, it is said that Anumanas Sata Tadrajan Govindanu Grahekitam Pitva Visam Paritasya Punar Utthanam Atana. O King, the cowherd boys then considered that although they had drunk poison and in fact they had died, simply by the merciful glance of Govinda, they had regained their lives and stood up by their own strength. So Vishwanath Thakur in Saraswati Sindhika says that the cowherd boys concluded positively that although they had drunk the poison and died, they were revived by the merciful glance of Govinda, who was empowered by Lord Narayana, the worshipable deity of Nanda Maharaj. In this way, this 15th chapter will end. And Sripad Sanatana Goswami in Brihad Vaishnava Darshan says, they surmised that their recovery was the acceptance of the mercy of the king of Gokula, Govinda Anugraha, or that it was his glance. But since the cause is only one, there is no difference between the glance and recognition by the Lord. O King, for great devotees like you or Yudhishthira, there is no cause of auspiciousness except the mercy of the Lord. In this way, this 15th chapter ends, and Kaliya Davan Lila will be described in the next chapter, the verse 16. So thank you very much for listening to this lecture, and please don't forget to subscribe, share and like our channel and get the blessings of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.